Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mithun, and in this YouTube tutorial I'm going to show you how to install OBS Studio in your computer without breaking a sweat. To be honest with you, I actually prefer using PepoCloud because most of my recordings are actually browser window recordings, and whenever I'm recording my browser window, I don't actually need any specific software to capture all of these things, and I'm tired of setting up OBS each time I start recording on a computer. So what I do is I actually use PepoCloud, and PepoCloud is a really simple to use platform. All you need to do is actually go to pepocloud.com and get started with the platform right away. So if you're somebody who needs a no nonsense web application to get the job done and record your browser window and screen, you should definitely give PepoCloud a try. In this software tutorial, I'm going to use Windows operating system as my main operating system, and I'm going to download the Windows version of OBS and install it. On top of that, I'll also walk you through the features that OBS has and how you can go about setting everything up. Without any further ado, let's get started. On my screen, as you can see, I have the OBS Studio website open, and right off the bat they provide you with the download links for all platforms. If you're on Windows, you can download the Windows version. If you're on the Mac OS software, you can download the Mac OS version, and even you can download the Linux if you want. And it is pretty much open source, which means that you don't have to pay anything. Just download it and get started with using it. I'm not going to go into the details of features and options that it has. I'm just going to start the download right away. And if you want, you can also download the software from this download page. I'm going to click on the download page and I'm going to select my installer. Right now, OBS actually has support for Linux as well, but I'm not sure if it is going to work on the Chrome OS platform. But still, since I'm on the Windows platform, I'm going to download the installer, and boom. It shouldn't take more than a few seconds to download it, so I'm gonna just save it in my downloads folder, and it should be downloaded within a few seconds. Once it is downloaded, I'm gonna open the executable file and I'm gonna start the installation process right away. In the first screen itself, you can see that it is actually asking you to install the software, so I'm just gonna click on the next to continue. Here's the software license that nobody actually reads, so I'm just going to click on next. And then if you want, you can actually select the directory where you want to install the software. I typically install it on the same directory as my computer's operating system because that way it is actually faster and snappier. I've noticed that if you install it on hard drive or HDD, it will be a bit slower when saving the file and when starting the software itself. So make sure that you choose the destination folder in a drive that is actually at least SSD. After selecting your destination folder, just click on the install button. Since OBS is a very slim software, it shouldn't take more than 10 seconds to install on a computer. My computer is decently powered, which means that I can edit 4K footages without breaking a sweat. So in my case, it shouldn't take more than like 1 minute for the installation process to complete. Alright, so the installation process has been completed. Now, if you're completely new to the OBS platform, you can actually click on this link and it will show you basic steps that you need to take after installing OBS on your computer. I'm not gonna click on that link. I'm just gonna click on the finish button, and boom, the installation is completed. Now I can actually open the OBS software using the icon on my computer. Now when you start the OBS software for the first time, it is gonna ask you the purpose of using the software. In the first option, you can see that it is asking you to optimize for streaming and recording is secondary, which means that you are somebody who streams a lot on social media platforms and recording is something that you don't actually do. So you can select that if you are a streamer. If you are somebody who does a lot of educational content and uploads the content on YouTube and other similar platform, you can click on the optimize just for recording. I will not be streaming, which is, I think, the feature that most of us are going to use anyway. And the third option is I will only be using the virtual camera. So What exactly is a virtual cameras? OBS actually comes with an option to create a virtual camera that you can use in many platforms such as YouTube and even Zoom calls. The thing that you do with the virtual camera is that you can actually run video or have any sort of clip as your webcam clip, and then broadcast it to Zoom and any other platform that might need access to your webcam. So that's how the virtual camera feature works in OBS. I'm gonna click on the optimize just for recording. I will not be streaming option. If you are somebody who's gonna stream, you can select that first option as well. I'm gonna click on the next button, and boom. As you can see, it has automatically selected the resolution for the base canvas resolution and the FPS. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually increase the resolution, because see, my computer has a 2K monitor attached to it, which means that it records at twice the amount of pixels than a full HD resolution. So I can actually record at 2K resolution, and as you can see, my computer screen is actually outputting more than 140 frames per second, which means it is way more than 60 frames per second. But since it is only supporting up to 60 frames per second, I'm gonna keep it at 60 frames per second. But considering the fact that most web cameras are not actually going to output such frame rate, I'm gonna use the 30 frames per second option. If you have a DSLR connected to it, which actually outputs more than 30 frames per second, you can actually select up to 60 frames per second depending on the need. Now I'm going to click on the next button, and before applying all the settings, I'm just going to go through everything that is selected automatically. It sounds about right. If you see that there is an output scaled resolution option that is selected, in which it is actually outputting the HD version of the screen instead of the 2K version. I have actually selected that on purpose, because see, most of the editing softwares that I have are not going to function properly if I start editing 2K footages, and most of my educational content are actually shot in 180p 1080p resolution, so I don't actually need that kind of resolution in the final video. Now I'm going to click on the apply settings, and boom, now OBS is ready to be used and start recording with. But before you could start recording, you have to add sources. Sources are pretty much the things that OBS can capture from your computer. So the first source should be the screen of the computer. So I'm gonna capture the screen. So here's the display capture. So I'm gonna capture the display, and I'm gonna name it as screen recording, and I'm gonna click on OK. So now it has automatically selected the display, and it has automatically set all the settings, and I'm gonna click on the OK button. Now you are all set to record your screen if you want, but I'm just gonna let you know that nothing other than your screen's video is being recorded. If you want to record your audio, you'll have to click on this plus icon and add the audio input capture option. So I'm going to name it as mic capture, and I'm going to click on OK. And then I'm going to select my default microphone, which is the USB condenser microphone, and I'm going to click on OK. So I'm going to also add the webcam, just in case if you want to add a webcam, you can add the webcam. But unfortunately, my webcam is already being used by another software, so I won't be able to show you how the webcam footage looks. But just for the reference, if you have an active webcam, this red box will be your webcam footage, and you can resize it and place anywhere on the screen, and that would be the webcam footage. So that was my setup tutorial for OBS, and I'm pretty sure that if you get the hang of it, it will be a very easy software to use. I've already uploaded a lot of videos in which I've talked about various settings and explored various options and effects that OBS has on offer. So if you are somebody who needs a lot of guidance in this regard, you can actually check out my previous tutorials. So that was my tutorial for Camtasia's installation process in Windows. If you have any doubts, please drop them in the comment section below. I will see you in my next tutorial. Till then, take care and bye-bye.